Now you're probably thinking that The Deliverance is just another pretty bad Netflix horror movie. And you're wrong. It's so much worse.
You shall be saved.
The Deliverance stars Andra Day as a mother of three who is just shit. She is the worst. She beats her kids, she mocks them, she yells at them all the time, she drinks constantly, and she grinds up against random men at her child's birthday party. The emotional core of this film is that we have to not want her kids to get taken away from her. I desperately want her kids to get taken away from her. Oh, and Glenn Close and Caleb McLaughlin are also here. I think they've just been kept in a Netflix dungeon while they're under contract. It doesn't matter. So this family has moved into a new house and they're all acting terribly. Yeah, the kids start out not too bad, but by halfway through the film they're doing horrible things at school, like shitting in class and throwing it at their teacher or having their period. What? Yeah, the little kid shits into his own hand and throws it at his teacher, and the girl just gets her period. And they're exhibited as both really bad things. I don't understand. It doesn't matter. And the whole idea is that they're in this house, and this house is taking a toll on them because it's demonic, it's possessed, you get it. And therefore they're all acting out, including the mother, and that's why she's acting so violently towards her kids, right? Okay, maybe. But here's the thing. We don't see them any other way. We don't see them moving into the new house. We don't see what they were like before they moved into the new house. As far as we're concerned, this is what the characters are. That's like a really simple rule of writing, no? It's just introduce what you've got, who they are, and then change them and make it a whole, ooh, they're changing, they're getting upset, the possessed house is taking a toll on them and making them all act out. No, as far as we're concerned, this is just always how this family has been. So what are we meant to think here? What are we have to be told again, and this is a big example of not showing us things, but telling us things. There are times where the demon does something, but we don't get to see it. We just see the grandmother bursting into the room and seeing the mother on the floor and the kids having been thrown against the wall, and we're meant to be oh gosh, what happened? And we know the house is possessed as viewers, so you can show us the actual things happening. They show us nothing. It's real bad, and as a result of skipping out on most of the actual horror scenes, it feels much more like a family melodrama than any kind of horror film. It feels like you rip the mask off, it's family melodrama, and then later in the film, in the third act, you rip the mask off again, and it's a Jesus movie. It's super, super preachy, but only in the final act. So this cast of characters, who I don't really like any of them, I don't really like the kids, I really don't like the mother at any point. She goes from, oh, I'm terrible mother, I'm terrible mother, I'm terrible mother, there's something happening to my kids, there's something happening to my kids, give me Jesus, and it's rough. And these kind of preachy movies, they're always rough, and it's always, oh, when they get going. And I understand, I do, that it's an exorcism movie. Oh, it's not, by the way. The woman they bring in, that was the worst character of all. The woman that they bring in to do the exorcism immediately is all, actually, it's not an exorcism what I do. It's called The Deliverance. And then she does an exorcism. It's an exorcism. It's the same fucking thing. But not only that, she failed in the past to exorcise this house, comes back, is all, yeah, I could do this, don't worry, comes in, fails again, and then leaves. I think she survived, right? Yeah, that's it. That is all that character does. It was interesting as a choice, I gotta say. In fact, the entire film was interesting as a choice, because it starts out as this kind of family melodrama thing. You're expecting it to evolve into horror, it doesn't, it just kind of slides downwards, and I thought it had kind of reached the bottom level for how bad it could be, and then it would just do a finale, and the kid would get possessed, and then blah blah blah, and it would be fine. And then it just gets so preachy in the final half an hour, which made it so much worse, and so much worse than I believed this film could be, honestly. There was a floor basement for what I expected this could be, and it dug a hole deeper than that. The fact that we are meant to be rooting for her to get her kids, and then to get her kids back when they get taken away, and blah blah blah, and she just goes from day drinking mother who clearly just doesn't like her kids that much to super religious, I'll get them back if it's God's will. Oh, how about you stop drinking? It is very annoying when that happens in any film. Personally, as someone who's not very religious, to be fair, and maybe there's just a different audience for it, but frankly, I don't feel like the religious community are watching that many exorcism films. But whatever floats your boat, it's frankly really terrible, much worse than the bog standard Netflix crappy whatever film. And I'm giving the official Netflix indoctrination party 1 star. There's like the crappy movies like Attack of the Killer Donuts or Sharknado that I watch, and I expect them to be like on this level. And I expect any film with a proper budget, proper actors I've heard of to be like at least a couple levels above that. This is one of the rare ones that manages to dip down to that sort of level. That's real purr.